a little soul man from Sam and Dave this morning, huh? And we have a couple guys, and they're going to talk about Soul Patrol. They just came back with a group of Titusville High School students on a trip to Ecuador, and we welcome these guys in this morning. Hi, guys. How are you?
Good.
Good. It's early, isn't it?
It is.
Introduce yourselves.
I'm Chris Wigg. I'm a senior at Titusville.
And I'm Kai Skinner, also a senior at Titusville.
All right. Well, good morning, guys. Welcome to the program. You guys just got back from Ecuador. What caused you to go to Ecuador? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Chris is like, I'll take this.
All right.
That's your question.
But me and Kai had the opportunity to go to RILO, which is a youth leadership program this summer. And when we got back, we were presenting to our local Rotary Club, and the caterer, Joe Gianni, asked us if we would be interested in participating in a service trip to Ecuador, and we both just jumped right on it and took off from there.
So this is something that has sort of been in the planning stages for a while then, right?
Yep.
Okay. So how many of you guys went?
Eight students and 3 chaperones went down.
Okay. And talk about, this is a group that was sort of formed under who?
It was a group that we pulled students from our Student United Way in school, and which is also paired with our Rotary Interact Club, so that's where the Rotary connection comes with, and also the connection with the school.
Okay. And you guys are members of the United Way at school?
Yes.
Okay. So this is kind of cool. So here's a chance to do something in the world, not just locally, but in the world. What was that experience like?
It was really an experience unlike no other. I mean, none of the 8 of us really knew what we were getting ourselves into. We just knew we wanted to help out in any way possible, so we all got together and we didn't know what to expect going down to Ecuador. We knew it was going to be life-changing, eye-opening. It was a very humbling experience down there, but we all knew we just wanted to go there and help as many people as we could and then come back and hopefully bring it back to the community of Titusville.
And what did you guys do down there to help? What were you guys doing?
The first thing we did was we gave people vision tests and fitted them with the correct reading glasses. We also packaged and bagged 41 bags of food and distributed them to 41 families. It would feed a family of 4 for about 15 days. So we helped that way. And also children who needed new shoes for just everyday activities, we fitted them with correct sizes.
And that was part of the Soul Patrol part of it?
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
That was our main part.
What was it like to visit another country?
It was interesting. Like I said, a few of us had been out of the country, but no one of us had been to like a third world country per se, and it was eye-opening. You have houses that weren't finished and dirt furniture and something you wouldn't see here, and it was real eye-opening, humbling. It makes you really appreciate what we have here.
And we're putting some pictures up here on the screen, and you guys can talk about this the shady group of characters who went down. So talk about who's in the picture here.
Well, we have our 2 female friends, Katie Hawks and Sarah Hasbrook, and then Chris and I, and then Matt Leach in the front with his hat. He hasn't taken that off since he got it, I don't think. And then Lucci Giroux, Max McAllister, and James Whalen with the fanny pack. Who also
he's rocking that fanny pack, isn't
he? Yeah, he probably hasn't taken that off either. I think he sleeps in it.
School yesterday.
And then
Did he?
Jimmy Gianni's in the green. He was one of our chaperones, but he thinks he's 12, so we threw him in the picture too.
So looking out behind you guys in that picture, talk about that site and what you guys saw.
This was on our way back from a tour around the capital city of Ecuador, which is Quito, and we were just driving down and back into the town when we looked over and saw the beautiful sight of the city. And Quito is 35 miles long, but it's really narrow.
Really?
Because it's in a valley in the Andes Mountains, and you can just see same with this picture in Matthew. You can just see forever. And we decided that would be a good place to get a picture.
How were you guys treated there?
It really depended. I mean, a lot of the
Did it?
places you were American, so people were taking pictures of us everywhere and everything like that. And then there were other places that people weren't so sure because, yeah, you're foreigners and you're coming, and they don't really know why you're there. But the places where you're doing your service and everything like that, we were treated extremely well down there, so that was great.
How does it make you feel to have done that? And the reason I ask that is I've helped out on a couple of service projects of my own many years ago, and there's a lot of self-satisfaction that comes with that. I know that's not what you go down for, but it must be a good feeling to know that you've done something good, and that something good may come out of it.
Yeah, it's definitely a great feeling. I mean, I know me personally, you come back, yeah, you did a great thing, but it makes you hungrier to do more. So we're always looking for the next opportunity to see how much difference you can make.
What might be on the horizon for you?
Well, I know we're going to try and set up something through the school that we can try and do this yearly or every 2 years or something like that. So not only can we get involved again, but maybe we're going as chaperones now because we kind of know the lay of the land, and we're giving back to the community, getting more people involved, hopefully make this a big thing in the Titusville.
How do you spread that kind of attitude or spirit within the circle of folks that you know, maybe even to people you don't know?
You want it?
Yeah, I think that the way to spread stuff like this is to just go out and do it and let people see what you're doing, because when good things that happen, people want to be involved in it, and in school, I think when people see that, they all want to get involved and help. I don't really know how to explain this, but it just word of mouth, people talking about it, really I think spreads the community.
Well, it seems nothing succeeds like success. It sounds like it was a very successful, venture for you. Just spreading the news about it, I think, would get people excited about that.
Yeah.
Well, and the community came together to help this, correct? I mean,
Absolutely. We can't thank the community enough for all they did for us. I mean, whether it was fundraising efforts in the community, they helped us out tremendously. I mean, we raised over $15,000 in the community, so we can't thank them enough for that. And then we have to thank the school district for allowing us to be able to do that, and then just everybody with advertising, letting it's out there. You guys, the Herald, you really put it out there for us.
now, here's a picture. This is James Whalen, and this is an animal native to Ecuador?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's a dog. That's a dog.
That dog's really interesting down there. I mean, they run around like deer here. I mean, one day James counted, surprise, but we saw 173 dogs on our walk to the bus station. They just run in the streets, and you'd think maybe you see some that are very starved or unhealthy or something like that, but that's not the case. I don't know whether they're getting to the garbage or people are feeding them, but they're all very happy and friendly.
Well, maybe that's the next trip down is doing something with the dogs. This is an interesting pic. You guys are on stairs, or what's going on here?
Actually, this picture was taken on the equator, the monument at the equator.
Oh, nice.
So, we all lined up on the stairs to it, and, got a picture taken.
Now, when you flush the toilet there, it goes in the opposite direction?
Well, if you're sitting on two toilets at the same time. But
this is what they tried down there.
We experiment a little bit, but yeah, it does spin. I swear it's a trick, but we tried it over and over, and it spun the different directions each time.
For the others, and you guys are sort of representing everybody who went on this trip, I'm sure you've had plenty of time to talk about the trip, especially on the way home. You guys have been up. You haven't gone to sleep in, a week?
Yeah.
So you've had plenty of time to talk about the trip. But what are some of the other things that the other members have said about this trip? And what did they take away from it?
I think a lot of people went down, including Chris and I, and you didn't only get to do a great thing down there, but you learned more about yourself. And you go down there, and if you're working with these children and these people in need, you're really learning about yourself and who you want to be. This is what you want to do. Maybe this isn't what you want to do. I don't know if anybody experienced that. I can't speak for them, but I know a lot of people just went down and they felt very humbled and they very appreciative of what we have now, and they obviously want to give back even more now, like I mentioned earlier.
This is the Morning Drill on Stream Television. Armstrong and the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network. 720 is our time. So, what was it like to come home after a trip like this? Was there a bigger appreciation for being back home?
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
I mean, who was it? I think Sarah. She got a little bit sick down there which was unfortunate. So did Max. And all they wanted was a McDonald's burger when they came home. They were sick of the Ecuadorian food down
Talk
there.
about the food down there. What was it like?
I liked the food.
I liked it too.
A lot of chicken and rice, and there's cilantro on everything.
Oh,
Yeah, I have a newfound love for cilantro.
really? So Mom's been at the store trying to find the stuff? No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a bunch of different fresh fruits and juices. One thing that I particularly liked was called mora. It's like an Ecuadorian blackberry, but it tastes more like cranberry. It was very interesting. I enjoyed it a lot. And then there are so many fruits that I can't even pronounce. We tried.
What was the strangest thing you ate?
Probably the
Was that encouraged? Was that like, hey, we're here, so you're going to experience this stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you had to be smart about it. I mean,
Yeah.
if you saw something that didn't look cooked and it was a street vendor, shy away from it a little bit. But if it was a fruit, for the most part, if you washed it off, it was pretty safe. So we tried a lot.
Yeah, we did not get to eat guinea pig though. I'm really kind of disappointed about that.
Mark's a hamster guy.
Thanks. Now the cat's out of the hamster's out of the bag.
Nice. What was obviously it seems like you guys got to see an awful lot about the people there in the country. What did you take away from just observing the people there?
It's a different culture. I mean, like I'm sure anywhere you go, it's a different culture, but there's different mannerisms and everything down there that we weren't accustomed to. So it did take some getting used to. And coming back to the States, you kind of start to pick up some of those mannerisms, even if you're only down there for 8-9 days. But it's definitely different. People go about their lives differently. I mean, just little things like they don't eat dinner. It's a big lunch. So,
Wow.
I mean, Americans, we love our dinner. I mean, nice big steak, and they're not even eating dinner. So, we
We like our
different.
breakfast and lunch, and then
Yeah.
the snack in between.
Yeah, and then
Second breakfast.
Yes, that's always a good one.
it was funny. We were on a boat tour in a volcanic lake, and the guide told us, well, the benches seat 4, but 3 Americans.
Really? Wow. But you guys are in good shape.
Yeah, we thought. Until we get to that high altitude, and then we're walking upstairs, and we're winded because there's no air up there.
Wow. Talk about the trip down. I mean, what was that like? How long did it take? Did you guys have any stops?
We left Titusville around 10 o'clock on, what was it, Tuesday morning? Wednesday?
Yeah.
And we drove to Toronto, where we flew to San Salvador, which was about a 5-hour flight. And then we had about a hour layover there. And then we flew into Quito, which was like another 3-hour flight. So we ended up getting into Ecuador at about like 1 in the morning. And from there, we just went to the hotel and started our service the next day.
Was it hard to go to sleep? I'm sure there was a lot of excitement.
Yeah.
I was so tired.
Were you?
I hit the pillow and was out.
And then the flight back was long.
Yeah, it was long.
So talk about that, because, I mean, really, you guys didn't get much sleep, did you?
No. Well, our flight, we had to be at the airport at 2 in the morning, so a bunch of
Wow.
high school students decided we were going to stay up and play board games all night so we could sleep on the plane, and everybody knows how that goes.
Yep.
And so we ended up being up for about 40 hours before we finally got home and could get some McDonald's and then get in their bed.
Well, what was the reception like coming home? There's some pictures that we saw. Was it Perkins? McDonald's. Oh, McDonald's. Okay. You
Yeah.
guys really need that McDonald's, didn't
I
you?
guess. I didn't want it. I mean, but
I needed a Big Mac.
Is that-
we didn't really even know what was going on. We were all kind of drowsy in the car and everything. We took off from Save-A-Lot, so we thought we were meeting there, but we're pulling into Titusville and going to McDonald's. We're all excited because we could get a burger, but then all our families were there, and there were some people from the Herald, and it was just a great reception for us. And it was Lucci's birthday, so we had some cupcakes. That was nice.
Oh, nice. And I'm sure you guys were just wanting to get home to sleep. What was it like to hit your bed?
Yeah, it was pretty nice, but it takes some time to wind down, and you're still talking, showing some pictures. So it was a late night that night too.
And then right back to school that next morning.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
7:30.
So what's going on in this picture?
That is also on the equator. That's Antonio in the
And that could be
orange.
confused for McDonald's, but that is down there. Okay.
Yeah, that's on the equator. That's Antonio in the orange, our guide. You're supposed to be able to stand an egg up on its end on the equator. Some of us could do it, some of us couldn't. Antonio took his hands off and it just stayed. I think he used a piece of putty or something.
Cheated.
Let me ask you this. Service projects I've worked on in different places, one of the things I noticed is folks are anxious to be able to do things for themselves, too. Did you find out that they were eager to help you? They wanted to take what you had and then kind of build on it?
Yeah, to an extent. I mean, when you're working with the people in poverty, it's hard for them to do it. But when we were working with the shoes and the community center and stuff like that, there are the adults that maybe don't see it every day or don't get to do it and experience it every day. So there was a couple like older teenagers like ourselves that would step in and they'd help us with the shoes, and they were separating and stuff. But yeah, they definitely seemed to jump on board when they could.
That's always a good feeling. It really is.
So you guys got back, when was it, last week?
Friday
Night.
last
Okay. And this is something you're going to present to the community. And this is coming up in a couple weeks. May the 3rd, 7 p.m. at Colstock Auditorium. All right, so folks can attend that event, 7 o'clock, and you guys are going to do a presentation on the trip. So talk about what it's going to be like for you guys to get that compiled, and how are you going to present it?
Yeah, this presentation, we have countless pictures that probably won't even do it justice, but we have video from GoPro and video recorders, so we're going to share a lot of that with the community, and then we're all going to give our own personal experience and on some of the service, some of the scenery, what we learned, how we're going to bring it back to the community. So we'd love to see everybody come out, and just hopefully we can make this a bigger thing and tell people what we learned.
It doesn't sound like this is a trip is like, okay, I'm glad we did it one time and that's it. It sounds like you guys came back with a lot of excitement and enthusiasm, and hey, we got to send people back. We got to do this again.
Yeah.
Sure.
So for anybody out there who's saying, I don't get it, why do this? Why do this?
I really think that us as Americans and living in the community we're really fortunate, and sometimes we take that for granted. And I think it was just a great opportunity to go and give back and show that we're not just, the dumb Americans that other nations may perceive us to be.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And like I mentioned, a few of us were saying earlier, is you find out about yourself. You go down there and you really learn what you have and then how you can give back. So if giving back something that you're interested in, which I think it's in everybody, it's just you have to bring that out. And that's what we really want to try and do. We want to bring that out of people. So if you can get a mass amount of people giving back, and if it's from our Titusville community, we really could put Titusville on the map for this community service and everything like that. And that'd be something to be really cool for our community.
You mentioned the United Way, you mentioned Rotary, and I think it's one of those things where you just, at times, maybe can go through the motions at school, and it's great that it's being introduced at that level, at the high school level. But does this just put that emphasis on, okay, this is what it means to give back or to volunteer?
For sure.
So if folks want to see this continue, it sounds like you guys are the driving force, and you guys are the ones who get to sell this for the future. Is that big responsibility, or is this something that you guys are pretty confident?
It's both. It's a big responsibility. I mean, we worked really hard to fundraise and stuff for this and try and put all this together. And Terry was a great help to us. She's sitting over there. She was kind of camera shy this morning, but she'll get that. And then so we're gonna definitely try and sell this. We're gonna sell it to the students that would be interested in doing this, and then we're always going to be talking to the community about it because they were such a huge help to us. We have to get it out there. We always have to fundraise for it. This wouldn't be possible without the fundraising. I mean, so we have to sell that, and we have to sell it to parents of students that want to go. I mean, not many parents would think. I know my parents were skeptical at first. Yeah, let's send my kid to a third world country with a couple guides that we don't even know. So.
It's all right. We've all been to Centerville.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much. Welcome back. And can't wait to hear the presentation and see it. And that's happening on May 3rd, 7 o'clock, Colstock Auditorium. Your presentation on the trip. That'll be pretty exciting. All right, good job, guys. Go get some sleep. Oh, no, you got to go to school.
Yeah.
Go to school. 7:30, news is coming up.